coming out tonight, yo. Each and every Thursday, and this where we play. Doing it for the desperate housewives. You know what I mean? Yes, indeed. Rock that beat. Run it.
DJ Lo Hefe, and this is the Step Your Game Up, the U Project. I'm here with DJ Rick.
Yes, sir.
And Christian Harley, known as Harley to his students. So first we're going to start off with the VoxWave Coat Drive. VoxWave will be sponsoring its first annual coat drive. The coats collected will be distributed to various homeless shelters and families in the metro area. Coat drop-off location is 4711 Off Place, Siouxland Road, Maryland, 20746. For additional information, please contact Frank Dink at 301-442-9258. Coats collected will be donated on January 25th and February 25th. So this is our special guest. How you doing?
I'm good. What's up, little cuz?
Okay, so, also this is my cousin. So we want to start off this segment. What made you want to become a teacher? Like, what influenced you to teach other students how to, grow, into their life?
I would say it came around, 12th grade in high school. I had a teacher, Miss Ernst, Linda Ernst, over at Flowers High School. Okay. And I was taking an African-American history class, studies class. Okay. And one day they actually had to teach a lesson during the class time. And I don't know, something about being able to stand in front of others and impart them with some knowledge and wisdom always was something I was into. And then wanting to work in the area that I grew up in, PG County or within the DMV area, always stuck out. So, that's what really drove me into it.
So are you one of those uptight, strict teachers, or, you like to be cool with your students, or you like to have mutual relationships?
I believe in just building mutual relationships with people in general, man. You know how I am with you, you know, just how I am with my students, man. I treat them all like little cousins, brothers, sisters, and that's how they look at me, man. You know, the whole strict thing, I call it authoritarian type teachers, man. I try to move away from that. I look at your generation as a new generation that doesn't really take well to that. You know, some kids need it, but for me, I work on building that relationship with you, and it's a genuine one to where you'll understand coming at me where it might be a little joke here and there in class coming from Harley, or we got to get this work done, and we serious right now.
Okay, so what grade do you teach and what do you teach? It's like, exactly.
All right, so I teach 9th grade. I'm at Seed Public Charter School in D.C.
Okay.
I teach a program called Build for 9th graders.
Build.
And it's an entrepreneurial program where they start businesses in the class. So they start a business from the ground up, and they then take that February 21st at Georgetown University. We have an investment pitch. So my kids for the entire year have been working on their products, and they're going to take these products and take it to investment pitch and pitch it to the people from Build and students at Georgetown trying to earn money so that they can actually make more products and sell them at the selling event later on in the year. Cool. And I also teach a government class for seniors over there. Okay.
So with all your experience as being a teacher, would you say it's difficult to teach certain students, or is it difficult to bring points to students that actually need like one-on-one education? Would you say it's difficult for them, or just teaching the whole class? Which one would you say is harder?
I think for me, it's not difficult to teach. The only thing that makes it difficult is the students that don't want to learn, right? It's hard to give knowledge and things to those that don't want it. But for the most part, you know, I don't have that issue. But when I do have that issue, I always understand there's normally something going on in that student's life that probably has them outside of the class at the time. And that's where, you know, they get my famous door talks. Okay. They walk over with me to the door, you know, away from everybody, where I can still see the class, but me and that person's having that conversation for about 5 minutes, checking in on them, see what's going on at home or in the school building, making sure they're okay. And we go from there. But it's not, to me, it's not difficult to teach. It's only difficult if you make it difficult.
Okay, so how long have you been teaching?
This is my, fifth year. I did 4 years at Wise High School. State championship winning Wise High School. Well, you know, I'm also coaching over there. Okay. And this is my first year at Seed. Okay,
so would you say the transition from PG County to DC was a big transition?
I went into it looking like it wasn't going to be, but then I realized it is a big difference because the dynamics of what those students deal with on a daily basis is completely different. You have some in PG County that they face certain issues, but some about that city life that them kids living in the district have to go through, that's different, man. They don't get the school buses home, you know, that security of going on the school bus, they actually have to walk. And most of them live in, you know, certain rough areas. And they have to walk past certain things, and they come home and they go to school with that weight and that baggage on them. And that accounts for sometimes their behavior.
So do you say it's difficult for, like, would you say it's more difficult to teach in PG County or DC? Because, like, in PG County, I understand that the schools are better than DC. So do you like teaching in DC, or do you like teaching in PG County? Which one would you like to teach in more?
I just love teaching in general, man. So it really doesn't make a difference to me because I can connect with any kid in my mind, whether you're from Pakistan or wherever, I'm going to connect with you. But I would say the DC kids come across some of them come across with a little more realism to them, right? Sometimes some of my kids in PG, and I love them dearly, but a lot of them were fakers, man. You know, they wanted to live and portray a lifestyle that just didn't have to, you know. And that's the only real difference, really, is some of them, the stuff they portraying is what they really living. And some of those in PG, they really live it too, but then they're far few in between.
Okay. Now, what I found out with most of the kids these days, by working at Crossland High School, one of the kids came up and put it like this, they was doing something they wasn't supposed to, and make a long story short, the teachers was yelling at them, right? And they started yelling back. So I kind of intervened with that and grabbed home and said, come on, man, take a walk with me. You know what I'm saying? I said, man, why I don't have that problem with you? And the first thing he said, because Mr. Ricky only yell at us. Mm-hmm. One of the things that you all teachers got to understand, we know that you have it rough, but you have to talk to the kids, not yell at the kids. Mm-hmm. Most of the kids, all they want is attention. They don't get it at home a lot of times because the parents ship them off to school and think we babysitters. We're not babysitters. So some of you parents that shipping your kids off to school, we're not babysitters. You know, you gotta take control of your kids at home. You gotta chastise them right at home. Then if we chastise them at school and they go home and say we done this, then you gonna run up to school and then you wanna jump on us. No, it don't work that way. Some of you parents gotta realize we're not babysitters. So my suggestion, chastise them at home, they'll come to school right. That's the way I look at it.
And to speak to that point, man, it makes it difficult as a teacher, right? If, you know, like you say, kids hate when people yell at them. Because you got to think, if my mother and father don't even yell at me at home, who's this person here to come at me and yell at me? And that's where I take that stance on, man, general conversation, man. The students, they know when they're in the wrong. Mm-hmm. Like, you know if you do something you're not supposed to do. If the teacher says something to you, either you gonna listen or you're not. Exactly. But them coming at you in a certain aggressive manner, you know, it's gonna cause for that aggressiveness to come right back to you. Right back especially with this generation, man. Mm-hmm. I always give this generation their props on being trendsetters, man. Yeah. You know, just like what you doing right here with this, man. Just how many kids your age out here doing this, man.
Yeah. So let's bring in some opinions on this topic. Call 240-719-2560. 240-719-2560. So I would base my opinion on it as a child, on a child perspective. So like, if I come to school and like I'm a regular child, I don't come for any drama or for any problems, and I just come to learn. And the teacher yells at me, but I don't even get yelled at home because I don't have anything like to get in trouble in at home. Mm-hmm. How would you base that perspective on? Because like, if I'm coming to school getting yelled by the teacher, but I'm not getting yelled by at home, but I'm not doing nothing at home.
But what are you doing at school? Because it's got to be something that she's yelling at you for, and or you are part of. You know what I'm saying? You know how I'm saying? You know, you got to look at the standpoint where if a teacher see a group of y'all and she won't yell at you, but she's also yelling at everybody else. You know, you might not be with the clique. But you is with the clique by just
within vicinity.
Yeah, in the vicinity.
So pretty much association.
Association.
And two, you have to take into account, man, that the teachers. I think sometimes people look at the teachers like, man, we inhuman almost. Yeah. Like we don't have real life situations that go on at home, man. You know, we have bills. Some of us feel underpaid. You know, overworked and underpaid, right? A lot of times we have meetings and things. So sometimes it's not even aimed at the student. It might be administration that has got you irritated for the day, and then just that one kid throwing that pencil across the class might just be, man, you know, calls you, say, man, what you doing? Mm-hmm. And sometimes it just comes off that way where the teacher might not necessarily feel that way. And sometimes students know, well, this such and such don't like it. Mm-hmm. Man, we don't come to work every day if we didn't like it. Trust me, we wouldn't be in that field.
Mm-hmm. So I got a topic on this. How do you feel about what kids call teachers snitches? Do you think that a teacher telling somebody or something about a situation is their job, or they should, level it out? Not everything that happens they have to tell.
Well, I think with that, the word snitches, man, I think we have to redefine that definition, man. Because snitching to me is if me and this person are doing something together, and I get caught and I tell on that man, then I snitch. But if I'm just an innocent bystander or teacher, right, I have to do my job, because the first thing that happens is this, what students don't understand is the administration comes down to us. You know, did you write this report up? Because if you don't write the reports in, then it makes it hard on their end to go through protocol to handle a certain situation. So you can't look at it as a teacher snitch, it's doing your job.
Yeah, protocol is right now, protocol in the school system, which y'all don't know. The protocol for us is very, very very seriously.
Heck.
I mean, it's real. You know.
Yeah, man.
We just went through orientation again with that. Yeah. So what y'all don't understand is what we have to go through with the protocol. You know, protocol is, man, it's tough for us, man.
But do you think that protocol comes from mostly students or teachers? Because, you know, you have situations when teachers like touching students and stuff like that. Do you think that builds into that protocol?
Well, that and a lot of other things with look at what went on, you know, in the PG County with some of the teachers. Well, actually in the DMV area,
you know,
it's been getting hit really hard, you know, and teachers, man, messing with 16-year-old, 15-year-old girls, and you know, and even women messing with the 14-year-old, 13-year-old boys. So you know, it went both ways. So, you know, you gotta look at it. They tighten up on that, and just me doing this right here, just me doing this right here can get me in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, hey, let me, just that right there, and I'm saying, hey, can I get your, that right there can get me in trouble and get me suspended. Actually, if it's on the camera, it can get me suspended until they do a full investigation.
That investigation might take 4 months,
3
months, because you got a backlog, man.
Yeah.
And to me, it kind of takes away the personality from it, man. Makes you. Sometimes a kid might need a hug, or they might have just lost a parent or a close family member, and they want to come talk to you, but it makes it difficult because you gotta stay in that bay, like, all right, look, when you over there, but then that makes it seem as though you're a robot. You can't show emotion.
Yeah, you don't care.
And it's tough.
Yeah.
So, I have an understanding that you work at Seed.
Yup.
So, this big incident on the news about this girl, Stormaya, rest in peace. Did that affect the school life? Like, did you see like kids walking around crying, or people just?
Well, I really can't speak too much on it because it's still under investigation and things like that. But as far as the student body is concerned, you know, because it's a middle school and a high school. A lot of the middle school kids, you know, they went through it. A lot of the high school kids too. It's just a tough situation. Anytime you're dealing with that, and then you're dealing with a school like Seed, where we're in a border school, so the kids stay there 24/7, Monday through Friday. And so when they're staying Monday through Friday, it makes it, you know, you're like brothers and sisters. So just put yourself in that situation where, let's say you had a brother sister and that happened, you know, and so it's just tough, man. It's a tough one.
Okay, well, guys, we're going to take it to break real quick. Stay tuned. I'm going to read the Boxwave Coat Drive again. Boxwave will be sponsoring its first annual coat drive. The Coast Collective will be distributed to various homeless shelters and families in the metro area. Coat drop-off location is 4711 Off Place, Suitland, Maryland, 20747. For additional information, please contact Frank Dent at 301-442-9258. Coast Collective will be donated on January 25th and February 25th. Guys, stay tuned. We're going to be right back.
Come right back.
Hello? Hey, girl. What's wrong? Girl, I just went to a major dealership and got ripped off on a luxury car. Ugh.
Well, I just got a great deal on a luxury car at Star Imports in Camp Springs, Maryland. They took their time with me, treated me with respect, and helped me find a perfect car.
Hey, DMV, looking for a unique car buying experience? Tired of high-pressure sales? Good news. At Star Imports, you'll be delighted with our boutique-style car buying experience. We're committed to treating you with the utmost respect, even if you have less than perfect credit. Check out our impressive selection of pre-owned BMWs, Mercedes-Benz, Lexus, Jaguars, and other imports starting at $5,988. For fast online guaranteed credit approvals, go to starimports.com. That's STARRIMPORTS.com. Or call 301-423-8000. Star Imports, home of the boutique-style car buying experience. Located in Camp Springs, Maryland, off exit 7B off the Beltway, next to Red Lobster.
DJ Red Mixtape Session.
boy DJ Lo Hefe. I'm here with Christian Harley, DJ Rick, and since DMV music influences so many youngers in the city and the area, I'm gonna go to him because he a semi-old head. So we're gonna talk about the young DMV artists. So give me your top 5 DMV artists right now.
My top 5, and semi-old. Come on, man, I'm not even 30 yet. Give me a couple months. But top 5. I'm gonna start with my number 1 because I've been listening to Young and Heavy for the last couple months, man. Q the Fool. I rock with Q. To me, his beat selection is what sets him over the top. He got a few bars here and there, but his beat selection is A1, man. Especially when he works with one of my former students, Chicho. Yeah. Chicho on the beat, man. Young and Chicho is definitely, to me, top producer coming out of the area as far as of a younger class. Then secondly, even though he's not up and coming, I'm gonna go the Trill. Definitely love his work. He got some good music going. Light Show.
That's number 3, Light.
Yeah.
I like Light Show too because he has his own flow. Like he coming off the city with his own flow. Nobody rapping like him. He got his flow is so distinct from other people's. Like it changes his music style. Like if somebody want to chill or just listen to nice music, they'll listen to Light Show because he ain't rapping on the track talking about guns and killing people all the time. So I'll definitely say Light Show. I'll put Light Show as second. Yeah, I'm gonna say my top 5 after you finish yours.
So what I'm at 3.
Yeah.
So now my last 2, I'm gonna say about as far as youngest is making waves right now. Gunu, and that's another former YS student. I'm not now as far as the bars and all that. Now his beat selection, he's another one. Got some cranking beats, man. That Hey Auntie, I'm like, good Lord. I put that thing in the car one day riding with my football players, after practice, and they be like, man, hardly prank that, because they kept saying, hey, auntie in practice. And I'm like, man, what is this, hey, auntie? So I go to YouTube, type it in, and then the intro, I said, golly, man, that thing hit. And another, I can't really, a 5th one, I'm going to have to throw the old head Wale in there. Matter of fact, let me take that back. I'm going to go with Shaq.
Shaq Glizzy?
Yeah.
You put Shaq Glizzy as 5th? So who is your number 2? Who's Trail? Fat Trail?
Fat Trail.
Oh, I thought you was talking about one of your students. You said Trail.
Nah. I got some youngers that got some rhymes, man. I got some students that got some bars. But
whoa. Old head said he got 4. So 4? He got 4? Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, my bad, but let's see your 4.
Well, let me just say this, man. I love all the artists, man, but hey, I gotta give number 1 to my little cousin, man, Gold Link, man. That's my little first cousin, man.
I like Gold Link.
I gotta give it to him right now. He making waves over in London. He just came from Canada, man, and he just got nominated for a crew. You know what I'm saying? So
he definitely banging.
Yeah, he doing his thing. I got Fat Trail, but I got Wale second, Fat Trail. Shy Glizzy, man, I like him. Man, he got that flow, man. Some of the newer ones, my young DJ gotta hit me up to, you know what I'm saying? So that's how we go with that.
Okay, I'm gonna say my 5. It might be 6. My first one is definitely Q. Q, like he said, his beat selection is different. Like his beats are like he can just say 2, 3 words on a song, and his beats are so hard that it'll just change the whole song. So he's definitely my number 1. I would say put Light Show at second. I explained why Light Show is second. I would say Shy Glizzy is 3rd just because his name, he's not in the area as much no more. He's global. He lives in I think California. Yeah, he lives in California, and so he's making big moves. I would say my number 4 from the area. Y'all might not know him, but Trap Squad Loud. Yeah.
I like Loud.
Yeah, Trap Squad Loud. He got that enthusiasm on the beat. Like he go hard on the beat. And my number 5, it's gonna be a hard one. My number 5, I would probably say I'll have to say Gold Link. Only reason I would say Gold Link because he's different. Like his music, it's it's not DMV to me. I wouldn't. If I didn't know where he was from, if I didn't know he was from here, I think he's from like Florida or somewhere outside of the state. But yeah, I definitely go with him because he's just different. You know, he rap. Not rap, but yeah, he rap. But his rapping's different. He got a different speed than other rappers. You know, so yeah.
He pretty much stays in his lane.
Yeah, and he consistent. Yeah, he don't lie about stuff that he does. He's pretty consistent with his rhymes. So
I'm gonna add one more too for me. It's my good man that went to high school with me, my buddy Cicero, man. He matter of fact got a song with Golden. Cicero got some good music, more of a laid back, chill type of vibe. You know, it's not too much of the rowdiness, but it's more chill, laid back. And so Cicero, definitely throw him in the mix. That's my man.
So now we could take it back to the 90s. Let's see, who's your favorite rapper in the 90s era? Now, can I start off with this one? Because believe it or not, I actually like 90s music more than this generation. Because I wish every day I was the 90s baby. I don't like this generation that much. I just don't
You gotta love your own, man.
Yeah, I mean, I love my generation, but I don't at the same time. First, I would start off with Nas. Nas is my number one. Because his lyrics, he inspired me with when he wrote the whole dictionary. That was really inspiring. Number two, I would say Wu-Tang Clan, cause like they're really a really tough group on the beat, and they really their rap style is different. Number three, I would say Tupac, cause it's Tupac, yeah. Number four, I would say Biggie, and my number five will probably be KRS-One.
That's heavy. That's a heavy.
I'm gonna tell you this: you definitely your father's son.
Yeah, man.
Growing up at grandma's house with your father, I definitely heard all of that growing up, man. So my five, I'm gonna put Nas on it. Nas is definitely one of my top. He's like you say, he's a lyricist, right? Snoop Dogg, gotta throw Snoop in. That's my favorite rapper. I'll ask your father. Snoop, and he's still doing it up to this day. So it's Nas, Snoop, and I'm not putting them in any order because they all got something different they bring to the table. Jay-Z, that Reasonable Doubt, man, that album was such a classic that you really don't understand it until you get older. But Jay, man, he's a classic artist. Nas, Jay, who else? I'm at two more. That's tough, man, because the 90s had a lot of musicians. Of course, I'm going to throw Pac and Big. I just got to go with the safe two.
So what about you, DJ Ray?
Well, my main man is Biggie, man. That's my main man.
Kick in the door.
He just flows, man. Yeah. And then he got music that you can two-step to and dance to,
And
Tupac.
you can picture it.
Yeah. Tupac, Snoop. Jay-Z, no disrespect, man. I'm really not a Jay-Z fan, but I like some of his music. Nas is there, man. And KR, man, he just be killing it, man. So that's my vibe, man. That can go in any order, man.
It's tough. There's definitely tough to rank legends.
There's some more out there, man. Too. Some more.
You can count DMX, all them type things.
So these rappers nowadays. We're gonna bring it back to nowadays. These rappers, they don't really give them good influence to youngins in the streets nowadays because things that they say is not really inspiring. Because I'm not gonna sit here and lie like I don't listen to their music because I do. But just because you listen to somebody's music don't mean you have to live the lifestyle that they do or live the lifestyle that they talk about. So I want to hear y'all perspectives of how rappers these days influence youngins like me or another youngin from the area.
First of all, they're expressing what they're expressing, but negative sales. Bottom line to it. Always negative sales. And right now, whatever it takes to do the worstest thing in the world, is negativity, and they know it's gonna sell. That's where they at.
Exactly.
You know, the youngest, some of the things that they say they do, they don't do. Just like, you know, it's fake. You know, a lot of them are fake. Some of them, you know, been through what they've been through, but a lot of it is fake. My thing is the beats. I love some of the beats, man, because that's what keeps me rocking right now. With their music, the lyrics, I can care less about their lyrics.
Yeah.
That beat, as long as I can mix a good beat, I'm good, and I can keep people on the floor with it. Oh yes, sir.
Yeah.
You know, so but the negativity wise of their negativity sells. So that's what I look at. You know, that's what I look at.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, man, that drive for us on Q the Fool album, man, when that beat hit, man. That and Risk with him and Duffel Bag Bug, man. And my students keep telling me I look like him, you know. But to me, I think it's an influence. It's yin and yang, man. You know, positive and negative to it. The positive influence, I'm gonna start there, is that it's pushing more young kids to go and do music, which I think is missing, man. In the arts, we push a lot of science and math in the schools, but the arts are important, you know. And so I have a lot of students, man. They come to me, they rap some rhymes. My good man Darnell, man. Darnell got his stuff together. He showed me his music yesterday. I was like, man, pretty good with his raps. Man, we can get them together in the club. I'm like, all right, my guy. The negatives, I don't like the addict music. What I call the drug addict music, man. Is you know, pouring Molly and Marlene's and all that. Cause I'm looking at it like, dang, man, you know how you really trying to get.
Yeah, like,
and you know, it's like, all right, man, do we really want to push for a younger generation that it's cool to be on all of these different drugs? And really and realistic, you can't be productive if you really on all those different drugs and have a productive burgeoning career.
Okay. So, speaking of like that Molly and that lean, like a rapper from Chicago just died, Fredo Santana. He had an 8-month baby that just was on the way. He had an 8-month baby that he already had. And he's just drinking lean, and it's destroying his kidney, his liver, and he died. He passed away at, what is it, 29?
29, man. Same age as me. My age.
It's codeine.
Codeine. So lean is basically liquid, almost like a liquid heroin.
Yeah, liquid heroin.
And
exactly.
but I can't even put it on this generation, because I'm gonna go back when I was in high school, man. 3 6 Mafia sipping on syrup, scissor. That's what that was. And you know, when you go to Mike Jones and them, that era 05, 06, you know, that Texas Screw. And, you know, by the way, I love music, so you know, me and you, we go music all day. But it's, you know, it's very influential. We see dudes like Lil Wayne, man, one of the greatest rappers of my generation, right? Lil Wayne is one of the great ones of my generation. I'm a fan from the Hot Boys from '99 all the way to now. You know, I'm really not a fan of his new stuff, but all the way up to Carter 2, 3. Yeah. Man, but the lean, man, is something, it's an epidemic.
And it's not just in the city, like, it's everywhere. You got, like, I personally seen a 13-year-old drink lean. Like, he destroying his body at my age. I'm not 13, I'm 14, but he's starting to start off, like, that's a bad path, because if he start now, what his body going to be like in 30 years? He's going to be broke down.
He might not even make it.
He might not make it to 30. So, like, it's a difference between somebody that can, if you're gonna take drugs, just you gotta think about it, because like you're destroying your body. Your body's not meant to take all them bad chemicals and things like in that nature. So I want to talk about the kids in the city. It's not that big in the city. I don't really hear about too many people dying from lean and none of that. But K2 is definitely a big drug in the city. I think it's a synthetic weed.
Yeah. And a lot of the K2 use, though, is because a lot of youngins have cases. And so they have to see their POs, and they can't smoke marijuana. So, you know, instead of smoking weed, they go to that. And, you know, and anything with chemical, you know, additives to it is always going to mess you over, you know. But we also have to understand, you know, those things are in our neighborhoods, right? It's easily accessible to our kids in our neighborhoods. When you go outside of that, you know, you're not going to every corner store finding Scooby snacks and all that, just sitting out on the counter with, you know, labeling that looks appealing to kids.
And I want to speak about gun violence. In my opinion, I think in 2 years, DC murder rate is going to be bigger than Chicago. And I'm going to tell you why. Personally, I think the government is dropping guns in all the Section 8 neighborhoods. And I say they're dropping guns in those neighborhoods because you see people, rappers in videos with assault rifles, AR-15s, all these big guns.
Military style.
Yeah, but where they getting them from? Ain't nobody selling those big guns in the streets. I mean, you got gun dealers that's, you know, selling all that. I'm not going to speak on that, but they selling that stuff. So, but I don't think it's that many until where people, you know, holding these AR-15s and assault rifles and stuff like that. I think it has to be something dropping guns on our neighborhoods.
Well, on that, right now, today, it's more easier to get those type of weapons than back in our days, in the 90s and the 80s. You got so many connections now, internet. You know, internet is one of the biggest, prophecy in a prophet that you can ever think of right now, man. I mean, people everywhere in the world can actually see you. If this show was worldwide, they can see you. Matter of fact, they can see you right now. Pretty much because we on the internet. You know, so my thing is right now back in the 80s, yeah, they was probably was doing it like they said in LA, New York, in the big cities, because look what happened. It tore these cities down. Chicago is one of the last cities about to get tore down. And look at it. DC got hit with the drugs and the guns, tore it down and rebuilt. Guess what? New York, same thing. Got tore down, now it's being rebuilt.
It's all a part of the plan.
It's part of it's a part of a big plan. Mern Burry said this for years, and no one ever took it seriously. You know, so that's where it's at.
Calling on the hotline, 240-719-2560. 240-719-2560. So what's your opinion on this topic?
Just speaking on just the gun violence in general, man, I think a lot of it comes from a lot of specifically young men in this generation just not knowing how to use these, you know, and social media, man. Y'all live in a generation where, okay, you could be a kid, let's say when I was in high school, right at the start of this internet age, right, 05, 06 is when I came out. Kids, you could get bullied at school, and the only people knowing about it is the people in your school and maybe in your neighborhood. But now, because you have social media, man, you get picked on in one school and beat up. You can't just transfer schools and be safe, because everybody know, oh, that's the kid that got jumped and punished over there. And so now it's driving kids to a level where, man, it's like, man, I don't like nobody. And the fact that you can't fight, right? You don't know how to protect yourself with your hands. And then look at a lot of the videos where they're influenced by, man, a lot of the videos I see, man, all you see in the video is they in somebody's house in the kitchen, drugs and guns. That's it. And so now the kids, they say, oh man, I gotta get me one of them. I gotta go get a Draco. I gotta get this 45. And then, you know, because they don't have these, as soon as the issue comes around and they get punished, first thing they doing is grabbing that fire.
So, and I think that's how most of our young black kids dying these days, from not knowing how to either like use your hands or just, it's too much. Like, social media is its own weapon itself. Because, like, if say right now somebody I had beef with came in this room and punched me in front of y'all two, and he pulled out a phone.
Well, that one wouldn't happen with me, but yeah.
Yeah, I know that, but he pulled out a phone and started videotaping and sent it to everybody on his Facebook. Somebody can see me getting punished, then it's going to come back to my school. So when I walk in the building on Monday, everybody looking at me like, oh, he got punished, he got beat up, And then say, personally, I wouldn't have to grab a gun, because, I mean, if y'all say something, y'all say something. You don't win, you don't lose. I mean, you win, you lose. But if I was a kid with a low self-esteem, I'm definitely going to grab a gun, because some people can't take that. Some people can't take people judging them and having always something to say. So when he get home from school, he going to go to his man and be like, yeah, let me get this. And then he going to come back the next day, and then he going to, you know, do what he got to do. So that's the problem. I mean, you can't. Social media is killing people, and it's too much talking on social media. People like to talk and yap behind phones, but they don't know who they talking to.
The gun gives some people a sense of power. Right? I could be the smallest dude on the block, but if I got the biggest gun, what you gonna do? I'm the man. I'm the honcho.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's like I was saying, like the gun is being used for too many problems. People should know how to settle things with words. I'm not trying to sound like it's solved or anything. That doesn't make you solve, because sometimes you don't always have to fight.
Nope.
Everybody think that it's your pride. Everybody think that if you go into a situation, if you're not hard, just I don't want to fight. Whatever they think about you is what they think. But if you don't fight, you don't fight. I mean, not everybody has to be the tough guy or the hard guy. I mean, you can just be yourself. And that's the problem nowadays. People got too much pride. People can't think I got they think they always got to be the top dog or the biggest honcho. They can never be that, yeah, dang, I'm soft.
They don't know how to play their position.
They don't know how to play their position. Everybody got to be the tough guy or the one that tote guns or something like that. If you just know how to play your role and stay out the way, you wouldn't have to worry about all that. Yeah. So that's my opinion on it.
It's about being secure with yourself and knowing, you know, hey, man, what grandma been telling us for years, know when to lead a party.
Know when to lead a party.
Boy, I got a hotline
here, man. That thing booming, man.
Oh, Lord, man. I got a hotline here, man. Hey, call y'all back about 5 minutes. We about to take a break, man.
All right. We're going to take a break real quick. It's your boy, DJ Lo Hefe. It's Christian Harley.
And your boy, DJ Rick, man.
And we're going to take a break. Stay tuned.
And turn that ass around and turn that ass around. Turn that ass around and turn that ass around. Turn that ass around and turn that ass around. Yeah, see you staring at my body. Yeah, you wanna touch my body. Yeah, I'm sexy, I know. Yeah, I'm the cool kind of hottie. I'm the life of the party. Watch me drop it real low. Yeah, boy, you like that. Oh, I can see you like that. Oh, yeah, boy, you like all stars go. Bow, 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 bow. Drop, 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 drop. Oh, drop, 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 drop. Let's turn that ass
mother. I left my cell phone there.
Nah, I ain't seen one.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Okay. All right. Thanks a lot.
All right. But with them two, man, you know, it's like, are we back on? Yeah. Are we back? We back on the air. This is your boy DJ Rick.
DJ Lo Hefe.
And the coolest teacher ever, Mr. Harley, aka Harley Lit.
Okay.
What we was talking about, my thing is with them, with these two guys, what we talking about now is we talking about DJ Lo Hefe and DJ Main. DJ Main ain't here tonight, but he'll be back with us next week. Mm-hmm. My thing is when the kids come up to you and you're a DJ or you're a teacher or whatever you is, give them the opportunity to talk to you and listen. Listen, as adults, we have to listen, which I see one of the biggest problems in not just in the schools, but at home with the parents. A lot of the parents don't listen. Your kids are reaching out to you, and you're not reaching out back to them. But if one of your girlfriends or your boy call, hey, you want to sit there and listen.
You got an hour.
And if one more person call me, and I'm on air, we gonna be fighting.
DJ Rick said we live, baby.
Martina, we live. But make a long story short, man. Parents, I'm letting y'all know right now. Put your going out, your me time. Spend some time with your kids and listen to your kids. Really listen to your kids because they reaching out to you. And a lot of times y'all think it's just, oh, he just going through something. Well, they is going through something. Pay attention. They need your input. Because that's why they come to us and talk with us at the schools. You know, and, you know, my thing is parents got to start listening, man, to their kids because the kids will be more efficient. There's no common sense in this society. Common sense has gone out the door. It's gone out the door. I said something to one of the kids, and he looked at me. What's that? And I'm like, you know how I talk to my little dog, and my dog turned his head. I turn my head. I'm like, what? You know, I'm like, it's common sense. So, what can we do? What can we do as parents or adults for y'all to make y'all better? That's a question I want to ask you.
Okay. So, what can y'all? So, the question is, what can the parents do to make us feel better, or just make us better? Period.
Help reach you better.
Help me get you better.
Well, one thing I think the parents should do is first, number one, communicate. Cause like, I don't understand. I wouldn't understand because I'm not a parent, but I think communication is good in any relationship because if you don't communicate, how can things get across? I mean, we're not dogs or cats. We can't do signals and nothing like that. So we have to communicate with verbal. Like, if I don't communicate with you about something that's going on in school, I'm going to hold it in. And if I can't trust my parents, who can I trust? So that's what I'm saying. That's one. You have to communicate. Number two, I think it would be, I think it would just be like, being like us, be our age. Don't, you know, everybody hates an old parent. Like, if I come to talk to you about something, nobody wants to hear about, like, it's hard to explain. Let me see.
Our
yeah, your era. I want you to relate to my era and speak to me how, you know, how I would get it through my brain. Okay. If you speak to me in the old era, it'll go through one ear out the other.
Okay, so basically, like, this is how I talk to y'all. I use my but I relate it to y'all because that's the best way I found out that y'all they sit there and listen because I have to use my to relate to their you know, and give it and you know, if I go too far back in my I know now, You know, because just being around the kids all the time. Me and you, it's like we're around the kids all the time.
Yeah.
So we know.
Yeah, man, you get around the kids so much. Man, when you go home, man, my wife said all the time, you been around your students too much. Man, honestly, when you really think about it, right? You think about the dynamic between the teacher and the student. And this is why sometimes students feel more comfortable coming to the teacher because you with the teacher more than you are your parent. Right? You think about it, man, you spend 8 hours of your day every day in school, right? And you go home, you probably sit and talk with your parents maybe an hour, if that, for some students. And then they going in their room, parent, mom, dad going where they going, and it's that. But when you're in that school building, man, you know, sometimes, like you say, communication. I've seen a lot of times, man, simple communication is what help a student and a teacher click and bond. Just simply talking to them. And I'm not even just talking work, right? Sometimes you might come in my class, right? I'm gonna dab you up like this. What's up, son? Right? And that's how I talk to my students, right? Like I'm not one of those teachers that's going to give you that educational verbatim, because I don't talk like that on a normal day, on a regular basis. Now I could code switch when I'm talking to my administration, my principal, and I could code switch and talk that with them. But with y'all, for what? And to me, for what? Now I'm gonna give you a big word or two here and there so that you understand it. You like, what's that? I'm gonna tell you what it means. But as far as me on my day-to-day conversation with you, nah, I'm gonna tap you up. And as soon as you come to class, you might be late. You could be 30 minutes late. The first thing a lot of teachers say is what?
Why are you late?
Right? Already a question that why is already going to have you defensive, like, what you mean, why? You know what I'm saying? So now I'm just coming, hey, how you doing, man? What's up with you? Right? Just simple, just making sure you good. Then later on in the day, I'm like, man, come here, come holler at me. Why you was late today? Right? Now you a little at ease because you done sat down, got yourself together, you just started to work. Now look, man, come holler at me real quick. I might just come to you, sit by you like this. Man, what's up? Why you late? All right? And my kids know, I do it all the time. And it's about just being relatable, like you say, being able to relate to the students, giving them examples. Students ask me stuff, I say, look, this is like such and such, and then I give them a real life situation, then maybe they can understand it better. My honest opinion, I got kids, man, to tell the truth, I got kids I know, they live out there in the streets, they out there. And with this entrepreneurship class, when I break down certain business things to them, they can't understand it. But then when I put it in that street vernacular form, oh man, young and my man like, oh, I got you. Because you just got to make it relate.
So do you think that you learn every day from your students?
Definitely. And I think that's just a part of human life. You have to, as a human, be able to learn. And I just told a student this a couple days ago, make it a point every day to learn something new. Whether it's through just listening to the old heads talk. And you know, I grew up in the house with grandma and grandpa. Right, so just being around them, getting that wisdom, and then your father being there, you know, me and you got the same age gap. Getting that wisdom from older generations. Listening.
Okay, so when you teach your students, do you think all of them like deeply listen to you? Like when they get home, do you think they're going to think about what you said today, or do you think it goes through one ear out the other?
Depends on the topic.
Topic.
If I'm talking about something that you genuinely into and interested in, just like you, right? We be talking. You genuinely interested, it's gonna stick. If it's something where you might be in class on your phone, you know, not really paying attention, it's gonna go in and out. But if it's something worthwhile, even when you're not paying attention, it's gonna catch you and it's gonna stick. And I had kids come back and say, man, like my kids, you know, I used to listen to Dick Gregory interviews during my lunchtime. So when he passed, I checked Twitter, kids. It's all Holly used to listen to. Now, in my mind, I was just listening to it in class during my lunch, but they come in, I always had kids come in and they eat lunch with me and chill. There's always, my lunch class is always like another class of 40 students. I'm trying to figure out, man, when can I get my 15 minutes, but it's whatever for me. But to me, they wasn't listening to Dick Gregory talking, but obviously they was, because they knew who he was through me just listening to it and exposing it.
Yeah. Hold the topic real quick. I want to shout out Capital Battlegrounds. We had him on last week. He in my
Shout out CBG.
Shout out CBG, Steve, and Q. But like
Neil Wood.
So do you think that people actually, when you would play Dick Gregory at your lunch, do you think kids would think about that too? Or you think they would just like, it's an old dude listening, and just he talking, he doing this and that. Or you think some students will actually sit down and listen to Dick Gregory while you was listening to him?
Some of them actually listen. because he was speaking on things that they can relate to as well, right? They live in the world, they live in society, and they can see it. So when he was giving that knowledge, you know, knowledge is always, you know, like he always say, man, you know, truth ain't got to be validated with ignorance, right? So when the truth comes out and it's being spoken, I don't care if it's an 80-year-old man or a 2-year-old child, you gonna listen.
Yeah.
And then another thing with his videos, when he used to have them on YouTube, you know, how he would kind of go off on the interview guys, that kind of gets your attention right there. You're like, man, why this old man spazzing? And then you start listening to it, like, oh, he's giving some stuff.
Have you ever listened to Dick Gregory?
Well, I would see my dad listen to him, but at first I thought Dick Gregory was a comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew he was a comedian, but I thought he wasn't. That's all he did. Yeah, but when later on, when he died, that's when I searched up some stuff about him, and I would see interviews. Yeah, he going off on people. He was a down to earth dude in an old man's body, but he was he had so much wisdom.
Crazy.
And when you think about it, right, some of your greatest comedians always, it wasn't the jokes, it was the real life. Robin Harris, Richard Pryor, Red Fox, Martin Lawrence, even Eddie Murphy back in the day, man. They giving you real life scenarios. Paul Mooney is another great one.
Right.
They giving you real life situations that make you laugh, but then it's like, man, they exposing some real truth here.
Right. So, when you was younger, did you listen to Dick Gregory yourself?
No, I didn't get into it until, like, let's say 2012. My good man Ronnie B, and him always just, you know, catching interviews, watching interviews on YouTube, Breakfast Club, stuff like that. And I just caught one. And the stuff he was talking about was stuff that I was on, you know, from learning in my school, in my days at Morgan State. That Afrocentric talk, it really, you know, sparked my interest. And that's when I got into it, so listening to more his interviews and stuff. And then I had the chance of seeing him live. In 2011, I went to Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC. I went to their 50th reunion. And, you know, they were big in the civil rights movement. And he was there speaking.
Okay, so do you think Dick Gregory passed down his wisdom to any new, like, black people that, you know, support their culture or fight for their culture?
Definitely.
Who would you say he passed it, like, the main person that he passed it down to?
I would just say his daughter.
Daughter? Yeah.
His daughter. Yeah. She teaches she used to teach in the district. From what I learned from one of my students, Tayshawn, he said, his daughter used to teach us, and the fact that he remembered and has a lot of wisdom himself, I know that she passed it on to him, and not only her, I would say myself. And a lot of the things I pass on to my kids comes from things that I've learned through him and others like him.
Okay. Well, y'all, unfortunately, we got to wrap up the show. This is Step Your Game Up, the Youth Project. I'm here with Christian Harley and DJ Rick.
Yes, sir.
We out.
Always throw my W's up for Y's.
See y'all next week, man.
We out.
You ain't no good, but you feel so